wherever we are.
No, this is true. The feedback so far from in the shop has been
No,
really good.
I'm just talking about my voice.
Oh, right.
Just generally.
No,
if I could just be better,
dude. No, whatever, man. Your voice is like, it's perfect.
I love that at the top of our show notes every single week, there's this big red bold letter underlined reminder: JD, don't laugh into the mic. And that's my reminder. Whenever I get tickled, which I'm apt to say, I'm supposed to go. I just can't. I can't do that in the mic anymore.
No,
and see, it was still already all over the map, and I wasn't even in the mic.
Oh man,
that's terrible.
All right,
you do a good job.
Thank you very much. You do as well. All right, ready to do this? We're getting started early tonight.
It's 2 minutes early. Are we okay to do that?
I think so.
Let's do it.
Let's see. I'm going to send out a real quick tweet.
People are like, 6:30 for Bo and JD. That's like 7:15. I'll just tune in. All right.
All right, here we go.
I'm smoking this great little Country Squire pipe. Probably should talk about this on air.
You want to, yeah, let's do that in a second.
I'll do that. I really like this little pipe.
Welcome to Country Squire Radio. I'm Bo.
And I'm John David.
JD.
Hey, Bo. Good evening, man.
Man, good evening to you, sir. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. It's been an interesting day. It was kind of slow around the shop, and I spent most of the day cleaning pipes, like cleaning estate pipes, like used pipes. I have a really good friend in Alabama, and he sent me all these pipes of his uncle that passed away. And man, just, it was one of these things. It's like, I've got these special pipes and I need someone to ream them out and, polish the stems and all that for us. So, I've been working on deoxidizing some stems and reaming some bowls out. And I think I've probably inhaled more carbon dust.
Man.
I might have that. What's that disease that they get in the coal mines?
Carbonite. No, wait, that's from Star Wars.
No, that's Han Solo.
Yeah.
It's the longest. It's that pneumonia ultra scoliosis stuff.
Oh wow!
It's like the longest word in the dictionary.
Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, I might have that. Or I could just have eaten the wrong thing for lunch.
Yeah, that could be the case. let's hope for the latter on that one. Absolutely. Well, hey,
it's been good.
We want to welcome you for tuning in and enjoying this podcast. One of the great things about this podcast is not only can you tune in at your leisure, podcast style and delayed podcast form.
Yeah.
But if you want to, you can actually join us live. You can actually check us out at countrysquireradio.com, where lately, and I think ongoing, we've been doing the show a bit earlier at 6:30 Central Time. Now that's around 6:30.
Yeah.
And I should mention 6:30 in the evening.
Yeah, 6:30 at night. That's Central Time.
I like it. It's the after-hour show. We're here in the shop. The lights are dimmed. There's we've kicked out. Well, you had wonderful patrons that I scared out of the building.
That we've encouraged to leave by screing at them and yelling. No.
Excellent service here from the Squire, always.
Of course,
even after hours.
You get to be the bad guy. It's kind of fun sometimes.
I don't particularly enjoy being the bad guy. I'm just myself.
I'm just myself. And why does everyone always run? I don't know.
Doesn't make sense. But no, of course, like I mentioned, we are doing this live. And the great thing is we're doing this live via our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Now, we've mentioned the last couple of episodes that we've got a brand new YouTube channel that you can find. If you actually go to countrysquireradio.com, you can actually click the YouTube link and go ahead and subscribe to us, because we have got a contest going on from now until the end of the year, where at the end of the year, we will be giving away to one of our subscribers 2 ounces of a tobacco from the Country Squire of your choice.
Ow!
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they have to do, Bo, to hop in on the contest?
All you have to do is just go over to our YouTube channel. Like I said, you can find that link at countrysquireradio.com. Subscribe to us and head over to our Twitter account at Squire Radio and let me know that you did that, because that's a great way for me to track it and also make sure that I'm able to get back in touch with you. Because I got to tell you, man, YouTube is not my space. Like I don't.
It's not MySpace. No, YouTube is not MySpace.
That's right.
It's not MySpace. Is not.
It's not Facebook.
It's not a Facebook. It's not a
Zanga. You remember Zanga?
Zanga,
dude.
Wow. It's not Napster.
It's a blast from the past.
Right.
No, man. Look, but now I'm still trying to.
Yeah, it's a different it's a different setup. It's a different way to interact with the whole process of putting stuff on YouTube, but the community's different too, right? I mean, just everything's just different. YouTube's just a different creature, and so we've been on YouTube kind of here and there, but now having our own dedicated channel, it'll be kind of interesting. Again, this is a podcast. We're very much a podcast,
right?
And want to stick to that. But it's kind of a fun way for folks to see how the sausage is made and kind of get to hang out with us live while we're doing this, which is great. So I hope all of you subscribe to our channel.
Hey, speaking of new things, man, we've been going through a bit of a facelift over at countrysquireradio.com.
Yeah.
Actually, Podastery as a whole has been going through a facelift. As of, I guess, the day after this episode airs, we will be officially announcing, although if you kind of do enough digging, you'll find it. Podastery is no longer a network.
Explain.
Well, so, in the past, we've been a network of all these heavily niche shows. And it was kind of this grand experiment for the last 2.5 years, and it's been a lot of fun. And we're going to continue to make all those shows. In fact, we're not really canceling any of the shows, but instead of them all being networked together, they're all going to be able to kind of follow their own unique paths.
Yeah.
And so Podastery is no longer Podastery Network. It is now Podastery Studios.
Right.
And in fact, if you go to podasterystudios.com, you can actually check out the new website and see some cool things there. But more importantly, head over to countrysquireradio.com, where you'll actually find a refreshed website. It's much more mobile friendly. You've got, of course, links to the show and links to our YouTube channel. You've got the most recent YouTube video of the unedited version of this particular episode that you can find there.
Yeah.
And so some cool stuff. You now have the ability to actually socially share our website.
Man, that's great.
Yeah, which is, I feel like I'm catching up with the rest of the world.
It's almost like it's 2011.
I know, right? That's so bad. It's true. But anyway.
But yeah, and folks can watch us live on countrysquireradio.com.
Exactly.
Right? They can watch us live there that night, which is fantastic. So yeah, that's awesome, man. Good job on it. Website looks great, and we encourage everyone to go check that out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, we have got an awesome episode planned for tonight. We're doing a little bit of tobacco talk.
We are, man. It's been a little while.
Yeah,
and we thought we'd pull out a tobacco talk episode and talk about what we all love near and dear here at the Squire, and the reason why we're here, which is pipes and pipe tobacco.
That's right, man.
Yeah. So a couple of fun ones to talk about tonight. The first one I wanted to bring up. This is a new tobacco that everyone is talking about, and it's all the rage. It is something that was highly anticipated, and I happen to be smoking it now. It smells good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It smells very good. But this is from our friend Greg Peace at GL Peace Tobacco. This is Virginia Cream, the Virginia Cream, from the GL Peace Tobacco Company. It's got a beautiful tin, very elegant and simple, just kind of what you would know from Peace Tobaccos. And again, kind of that signature Cornell and Deal style tin that you always expect. And it's a real nice packaging as usual. This is a tobacco that was highly anticipated. Really, anything that Greg comes out with is greatly anticipated. Good friend of the show. He's always, putting some unique spin on something. And of course, his prose on the back of these cans just, makes your mouth water and makes you want to go read like Chaucer.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, this is Virginia Cream. Let me read this to you.
Yeah.
And then I'll let you smell it and then kind of describe my experience a little bit. He says, distinctively delicious. We season fine red and golden flue-cured Virginia tobaccos with rare condimental leaf, enhancing the result with a subtle vanilla bourbon topping that is never overbearing. Rare for a blend of its genre, Virginia Cream delivers its aromatic promise from first pull to the bottom of the bowl, while leaving the pipe clean and free of phantom flavors. An all-American blend ideal for Virginia fanciers craving something a little sweeter.
All right, let me see it.
Delicious. Yeah, open it up. Isn't it pretty? And it's reminiscent. The tin note of it is reminiscent a little to me of Haddo's Delight. Haddo's Delight, of course, just an excellent, probably my favorite GLP blend. An excellent, kind of Virginia Burley Perique. And so the note on it, has kind of those notes of spice and sugar, but it's just, but it's not a syrupy tobacco by any means.
No. But at the same time, I feel like I'm like entering into dessert.
Yeah, I can see that. What he's done here, and I really like this, but what Greg was going for, my understanding is a tobacco. You've got people like me that really gravitate towards Virginia tobaccos, right?
Oh yeah.
So I was sitting here the other day talking to my really good friend Henshos Sal, who is a friend of our shop and comes in, all the time. And we're comparing our notes on favorite tobaccos. And here at the Squire, obviously we talk about things like Pirates Alley and Merriweather and now Fleur de Lis, lots of real Virginia heavy things. And as far as mass market products like this, we were talking about what's your favorite tobaccos? And our top 5 were all the same. It was like Orlet Golden Slice, Dunhill Flake, Vow and 14. Just we're like broken records. We just find these things and stick to them because they're so good. Recently, I've been smoking also more Stokeby Luxury Navy Flake. It's kind of funny. It's one of those things, that just kind of gravitates towards you. That it's got this grassy, hay-like flavor, but also a little sweet. And I think in some sense that's what Greg was kind of going for. People like me and Henchos that love a Virginia tobacco that burns really, really clean, has natural flavors. The sweetness and the flavors are all super subtle, and I really like that in Virginia tobaccos. Is that you kind of, as you smoke them, you kind of get those subtle flavors that come out as you work for them. You smoke them slowly, and so I think Greg was going for that, but he wanted something that maybe would give the Virginia smoker something a little sweeter.
Yeah, I was about to say, this does not seem to have a very subtle room note.
Yeah, no, it doesn't, and it definitely is an aromatic, and like he said, I think he described it very clearly on the back of his tin. He's like, this is it's an aromatic, tobacco. It's sweet from beginning to the very final ash,
Yeah.
And that's true, but it's a very clean sweet. The topping on it is super mellow and just real clean. So
that's cool, man.
Smoke's great. Smoke's real dry and cool. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the reviews are here and there. Like a lot of folks, I know we've had a few folks in the shop that I think when that you see something like Virginia, you think, okay, well, this is going to be a Virginia tobacco. So they open the tin and maybe it's sweeter than they thought it would be. But then you've got people who are like, oh, they focus on the cream part more. And they're like, oh, well, obviously this is going to taste like, butterscotch or something. And it's like, no, this is a Virginia tobacco. So it really is one of those blends that, I think he was going for people that really enjoy the subtlety of Virginias, but just want that little added sweetness to it. And the room note is a nice sweet room note as well.
Beautiful tin, of course. The coloring very much communicates the flavoring, and that it is kind of that creamy vanilla with kind of a smoky little polish to it.
Man, it kind of makes me want some Bluebell ice cream.
A little bit, right? It's subtle, but in the background of the Virginia cream, just the logo and the font is what appears to be some large tobacco leaves that are tied up and hanging down. And around it, you've got actually these kind of these vines and what do you call these things? The ribbons, I guess, that are
little ribbons.
I guess it is ribbons flying around with kind of vines growing off of it. At first, I actually it gave me the feeling of like birds singing and like notes and like actual music notes and everything. But upon kind of closer look, it is these ribbons and these vines. But anyway, ultimately very much kind of communicating that specialness, the creaminess, everything that you're talking about, man, very much kind of communicated in the tin. I always appreciate the attention to detail when it comes to actually making these tins and making them something special and not just slapping, well, here's the name of what it's called, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's just for me personally,
right?
That goes a long way into it.
That's one thing that adds a really nice touch. I mean, there's a reason when you walk into a cigar humidor, for instance, if you're a cigar smoker, your eye is caught by boxes that are put together beautifully and artwork that's done beautifully, and and it's not just always marketing, just throwing a logo on something. It's very thoughtful in a lot of cases, particularly in the pipe world. So, our friend Greg at GLP does that with excellence. I think with very much seen. Obviously, we talk a lot about the folks at McClelland and their artwork and how beautiful it is, and how you feel like kind of experiencing this tobacco as a engaging different senses and things like that. It feels really special. Even the Squire. What's interesting, we for years have had a stamp for all of our tobacco. And so, we've got, whenever you order tobacco, we weigh it up and we put a label on it. But then also on the label, instead of handwriting the blend, we actually stamp the blend. It's just kind of written in this, real nice script that, gives it kind of a vintage feel. But, people have put time and thought and effort into it. And, it's just, it makes you feel like you're getting a real nice gift.
I love that, man. All right. So you're smoking it. Out of curiosity, what pipe are you smoking out of here?
Man, this is a cool little pipe. I found this not too long ago, actually, in the back room back there. This is a little billiard, which was a Parker they had some Parker rejects, I think, that were done back in the 70s and 80s, and Country Squire basically got a hold of these and had our name written on the bottom. And so if you can read there on the bottom, it says the Country Squire in script, which is on the bottom. But just a super light, nice pipe. It's my kind of shape, real straight billiard that's super light, small bowl. Nice tapered off stem, and yeah, man, it's just a nice little pipe.
Is it one that you use primarily for aromatics, given that this is definitely an aromatic tobacco?
What's interesting is I typically don't actually. Yeah, I would typically put just kind of real clean Virginia tobaccos in it, and that's why it's a testament to the cleanliness of this particular tobacco that I'm putting it in a pipe like this, because I just I don't sense that it's gonna really ghost this pipe.
I was gonna say living on the edge, but apparently not really.
Yeah, I mean, not for me anyway.
That's good. Well, excellent job, Greg. As always, very much impressed. Looks great.
Well done. Yeah, and actually, if you're in the Jackson, Mississippi area and are around, we'd love to let you sample this. So come by the shop and take a gander.
This one, as well as the other tobacco that we have for Tobacco Talk today.
That's right. We are going to talk about a tobacco we've never mentioned on the show before, and it's one of our oldest blends.
I got it.
It's called PS Blend. Now, this is interesting because this tobacco has been here, for a really long time. And the reason I kind of wanted to bring it up tonight is that it's experiencing a renaissance. It's one of those tobaccos that, kind of gets overlooked on the shelf a little bit. It, is kind of down there on the end in kind of a nondescript corner. But recently, more and more people have been reaching for this tobacco.
Somebody call a barista, because this just got dark. This is a dark tobacco.
It's dark, isn't it, dude? Yeah. Looking at the blend through the jar, Bo, you want to kind of describe it?
I mean, honestly, it looks like when your house burns down, what you might find. I mean, no, it's just very, very dark. It looks kind of like it's just fermenting in its own juices to some extent.
It's all black with a little bit of brown ribbon through it. But basically, PS Blend is really nice. This is a what is it? You're itching to say something.
I want to dig in. I'm just excited.
This is a Cavendish, Virginia, and Latakia mixture. So this is one of those interesting, mixtures that kind of evokes English blends, but also aromatic blends. Some people will call it a hybrid blend. That's typically what I call it. You could also call it an English aromatic. It's one of those
hybrid blends kind of in style right now, right?
Yeah, I think so. You see a lot of that. Blends that feature elements of flavoring, but also also some Latakia that is the more prominent prominent ingredient. So that's where this is. This blend, it's called PS Blend. It was named after a guy called Paul Simmons. Paul Simmons died in 1979. And this was his private blend.
Oh, wow.
And it became so popular while he was alive that it made it onto the shelf here at the Country Squire and has been, even since he passed away, a staple here at our shop. So like I said, it's one of those blends that kind of has ebbed and flowed, during its season, but it's really experienced a renaissance. So we wanted to talk about it tonight.
Oh, you don't want me to say what it smells like?
Oh, yes, we do.
It smells like raisins.
Okay, no, I didn't.
No, it does have kind of that fruity room note to it, though.
It's interesting. It when you smoke PS Blend, it's got a note that certainly has. Latakia is there, but it's muted enough by, I think, the Cavendish and the Virginias to where it's just not quite as offensive, maybe if you're an aromatic smoker, to some other blends.
Dude.
So it's really nice, very velvety. That's one adjective that always comes to mind when I'm thinking about PS Blend. It's a tobacco that's very, very velvety, real creamy. The exhale on it's very plumy with smoke and things of that nature. You do get the campfire, that kind of smoky, leathery, smoldering flavor of the Latakia, but it's very much it's very much contrasted with the smoothness of the vanilla Cavendish that's in there.
Is it typically that the darker the tobacco, the bigger the plume, so to speak, comes with the smoke, or where does that come from?
I'm not. I don't necessarily associate it with the color of the leaf. I think just different varieties of leaf tend to do that anyway. Right. I personally experience that more with the Cavendish, but I tell you where it shines for me. The pluminess of a smoke is burley. Burley.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Burley just is prolific in its smoking. You just get tons and tons of smoke when you exhale a burley leaf. Latakia, interestingly enough, at least from my own experience, is more of a subtle smoke. It's more of a wispy, kind of subtle, as far as the physical smoke that you're looking at. That's from my own personal experience. Other people might have experienced something different.
Your mileage might vary.
Yeah. But this is a blend, I think, with the Cavendish that's in there. It's just a real nice velvety, creamy blend. It's got a lot of good notes to it, and it's a good blend for if you want to fill the room up with something that's certainly robust, but also pleasant to smell.
Well, that's good, man. I mean, it looks like a beautiful. So you mentioned this is actually one of a longtime customer of the Country Squire whose blend has this staying power.
That's right.
And that's there's a couple of other people honored to be up on the wall here. You got, of course, Bowser's Castle.
Bowser's Castle's
Hunting
there.
Creek also.
Hunting Creek, Parsons Blend,
of
which
course.
was made for one of our local Anglican priests. And I mean, there's been others too over the years. Folks have helped out develop different blends just by giving feedback on this and that.
Does Bowser's Castle, you think it's got the same kind of staying power?
Yeah, I do. I mean, a guy the other day, got on the internet and ordered a pound of Bowser's Castle.
No way.
From the countrysquireonline.com.
No way.
That's intense. Yeah. Like that. I mean, a pound.
You're not messing around with
that. That's committing. Like, do you know how much Latakia is in a pound of Bowser's Castle? Like
a pound of Latakia.
At least a pound of Latakia,
right?
Yeah. It's like 1.5 pounds of Latakia per pound of Bowser's Castle.
Right.
No, but it's cool to see these things develop. Paul Simmons was he was the owner of a gift shop that was just right next door here at the Quarter Shopping Center.
Is that right?
And he was a pipe smoker and came in here all the time. Obviously, his shop was next door. And this is a guy that died, 35, 36 years ago, and his blend is still on the shelf. And people come in and ask for it regularly. And like I said, right now it's kind of going through a renaissance.
Man, what a great legacy!
It's a fun thing.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
We hope to see more of that.
Well, great. Well, P.S. as well as the Virginia Cream, they are here at the Country Squire.
Yep.
So if you are local, come on by, get yourself a sample, let them know you heard about it on the Country Squire radio. And it's a good thing to do. We love when actually people, not only come by and sample things, but order things from the Country Squire online. That's a great way to kind of help support the show. Another great way is actually by going over to Audible. If you go to audibletrial.com/CSR, you can get yourself a free audiobook, which is a good thing to do because, man, if you're smoking your cigar, you're smoking your pipe, you're smoking and you're kind of on the road or you're kicking back at the house, wherever you might be, chances are you like listening to audio. In fact, I would even wager, based on many of your responses, that you're probably puffing away in your pipe while you're listening to this podcast. You can also be puffing away at your pipe and listening to some great audiobooks when you get done listening to this podcast. Head over to audibletrial.com/CSR. That'll get yourself a free audiobook for signing up with them, and it also helps support this show. So go ahead and do it, audibletrial.com/CSR. All right.
Did you get it cleaned up?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Pipe question of the week this week is brought to us by Lane 1Q.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yes,
it's that time of year again, too. We always like pulling out Lane 1Q here in the fall. It's something that, it's a blend that is sweet. It's certainly sweet, but it's not overbearingly sweet. And it's kind of a nice transition from that summer heat into the fall where you want something that has a nice tobacco flavor. Lane 1Q is just always a house favorite.
Man, I'm telling you, and this is a great time to get it, not only for the weather, but, this Thursday, it's Thanksgiving.
It is Thanksgiving.
And so as you're going, you're traveling around, you're getting with your family and you're connecting with all of them, you're going to need to slip away and get yourself some Lane 1Q.
Yeah.
Look, sometimes it's great being with family, but it's also great kind of taking a break.
And keeping the peace both internally and externally.
That's right.
And we hope our friends at Lane and their creation with 1Q can assist you in that.
Absolutely. The great thing too is if it is such a great introductory blend. And I know for me, a lot of family gatherings, I'll have my pipe with me and I'll have an aunt or a sister-in-law or a brother-in-law or whomever coming to me and saying that they want to actually try the pipe for the first time. Lane 1Q is exactly what I'm going to reach for to kind of be their introductory into pipe smoking. So check it out, Lane 1Q. All right. Here we go. This
pipe question of the week.
I know. Normally I put the name in front of it and I did it afterwards this time. So good on me. All right. Pipe question of the week comes in from Morton. Oh man, Morton Sandevi. I know he's written in before and I know I've butchered his name in the past.
Pipe question this week comes from Morton S.
Morton S. writes, he says, my pipe collection has come to be 10 pipes and counting. I love them all, but still I love one more than the others. And it is the one that I pull from most often.
Yep.
So the question is, how long do I have to rest in between smokes? Do I rest it between every bowl, or do I smoke it all day and then leave it to rest? If so, how long? I smoke about 1 to 2 bowls during the week, and then 4 bowls a day in the weekend. Happy puffing from Morton. This is a great question.
Great question. I feel your pain, bro. I feel your pain. You know, pipe collecting is one of these things where you get this, you know, broad thing of pipes. You're like, oh, I got a rack now full of pipes and I get to collect all my pipes. But why do I keep reaching for the same one?
Right?
Over and over. And it's one of those things, you find a shape or maybe a bowl size that's just very conducive to enjoying a certain blend that you prefer at certain times or whatever. And you're tempted to always smoke that pipe, you know, and so I understand that. That I think that's why my Bing's favorite looks like it got run over by a car, because I'm so bad about you know, constantly reaching for it. But yeah, so what I would tell you to do, again, try to rotate your pipes. You know, are you going to smoke one pipe all day long? If you're going to smoke multiple bowls a day, I would probably tell you to not do that. You know, I'd probably smoke one bowl per pipe per day. That's kind of my go-to rule. Now, you know, can you fudge here and there on that depending on, well, you know, this is the only pipe I got, or, you know, I don't think I worked this pipe too hard, or I only smoked a half bowl, so maybe I'll put a whole bowl through it. You know, good briar can handle it. It can handle it. But, you know, if you do work a pipe relatively hard, you want to give it a time to rest.
Right.
It needs to breathe. It needs to dry out, and it needs to cool down. And so, you know, I would give it the opportunity to do that, let that cake solidify in the bowl. You know, my kind of rule of thumb is, you know, I don't smoke a pipe more than once a day. And then on top of that, I like to let it sit at least a day before I smoke it again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, if you're going to, you know, be a twice a week pipe smoker, then, you know, your Savinelli or Peterson or whatever can handle that.
Yeah, you have plenty of time in between.
It does, you know, and that's something that can work itself out. But I wouldn't spend, if I were you, like for instance, on your weekend rotation where you're smoking, looks like Morton says,
4 bowls a day,
4 or 5 bowls a day. I would certainly mix that up. Yeah, I would definitely, you know, if you're going to do that, at least use 2 pipes for those 4 bowls, and you know, preferably 4. But it's something you want to, you know, try to, you know, allow your pipe to rest, because you know, the more you take care of it, it'll serve you better. And you want to keep your pipe as one of your favorite pipes. That's the thing. Like, you can't overwork a pipe and burn it out. And so, you know, take good care of it, and so it'll continue to be one of your favorite pipes. The goal is to find other pipes that you feel that way about.
Yeah.
And so continue to, you know, find pipe. Think about the pipe that you have there and what you like about so much, about it so much. Be real deliberate about your, you know, understand of the feel in your hand and the texture of it, and, you know, the bowl size and the weight and how it hangs in your mouth. And think about exactly what it is that you like about that pipe so much. And then, you know, try to find pipes that mimic that. But also, you know, try to smoke things that are different, because you just don't know. You might find the total opposite as pleasing as well. So,
you know, it's funny because I think about the collector mindset, and like, I want all of my pipes to be drastically different.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're exactly right. If I wanted to kind of switch out what, you know, beyond what my go-to pipe is, then I would need to get something that was very similar.
Yeah.
Which is very contrary to the way my mind works when it comes to buying pipes.
And yet, you know, let's say, you know, I've got the straight billiard here, which, if, you know, you see me smoke a pipe, you know, I'm just a sucker for a straight, you know, billiard style pipe. And so it's, you know, one of those things where you reach for it, and, you know, it's a straight pipe, so you're not really thinking about it much. But, you know, that one time I pull for a super bent pipe, you know, I might be able to, you know, enjoy it in a way that I did in my other pipe.
Brian Levine's calling.
Is that him?
I guarantee it's him.
That drives me crazy.
Who else would call at this point? He's watching from home right now, being like, "I bet I'm going to mess with these guys."
Is it muted enough for us to be okay?
I'm sure it's not being picked up on the mic.
Okay,
the phones are ringing in the shop right now.
Should we
let's just answer it and just put them on. They're gone.
No, no, not at all.
You're on Country Squire Radio. Yeah, no, that's good. The one thing that I can really kind of relate in this one space, because you know me, I don't smoke nearly as often as you do, and
Sure.
not enough where it's really this a problem with me, except for when I go fishing.
Right.
Because when I go fishing, I'm out there for hours.
Right.
And I'm smoking my pipe sometimes for hours. And so I it used to not be as big of a problem until I started fly fishing.
Until you fly fish. Right?
Well, because that's the thing. You go out there, you're surrounded by water. It's not like you can just, like you're not sitting on the bank and everything. You're very much
let me
stuck.
run to my Humvee half a mile away, and
the less you have with you, the better.
Right.
However, if you think back to one of our more earlier episodes that is deep into the archives at countrysquireradio.com, we talked about pipe smoking and fishing. And I got a recommendation from, I want to say it was a Reddit user.
Yeah.
Who mentioned what he does is he pre-packs a couple of different pipes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a great tip.
And so, it's great because I completely forget every single time I go fishing, but now I'm making myself a mental note to not forget in the future to actually pack a few pipes.
Yeah.
Because even with me now with the fishing vest, I've got the long strips. I've got 4 long strips on either side on the vest, and I can actually pack a pipe and put one in each. So,
that makes sense.
Yeah, you got to be good there. But anyway,
this is a great question. I think the moral of it all is rotate your pipes, be kind to your pipes, let them breathe. Again, my kind of thing is no more typically than 1 bowl a day. If not, let your pipe rest a little bit throughout the day. And find some other pipes that you're crazy about. Find some other pipes that you can kind of mix it up with. And I promise you, when you get to 40 pipes, if it's 1 in 10 right now, then by the time you get 40 or 50 pipes, it'll be 4 or 5 by then.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Great question, Morton. Thank you so much for sending that in. And if you've got a pipe question of the week, you can send it in at csr@podastery.com. Quick fire questions. All right. Now, as you recall, last week, we were going through some quick fire questions that Steve Davenport sent in to us. And he was combining 3 of his favorite movies and franchises, which were Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings, and Star Wars.
Right.
I mean, this guy after our own heart, really.
Yeah. I mean, what more banner, incredible series could you think of than those?
All right. So we're carrying on in that tradition here. Palpatine or Saruman?
Okay. Palpatine, of course, the Emperor.
Right.
Is Palpatine the Emperor?
That's accurate.
In Star Wars.
Turn to the dark side.
Yeah, I mean, they're both like just, completely overtly evil.
Just pure evil in its purest form.
And it's funny, you think like, these are people that like, I just had this thought, you're in the midst of, let's say you are Emperor Palpatine or you are Sauron. Like, are you proud that you're evil?
Yeah.
These people are proud that they're evil. They don't think of themselves as good, and the other people, like he's telling you, no, join the dark side.
Right. It's not the we think it's actually the good side. That's like, no, actually, it's really interesting now that I think about it. There's a book called, I think it's called Darth Plagueis. That's actually the origin story of Palpatine and talks about his dark master of the Sith.
Yeah.
And it's described to Palpatine by his master that the dark side is a virus through which you would never want the cure. Like it literally eats away at you. You have to give yourself wholly to it, and it will destroy you in its making you more powerful. Like that's
out of control.
There is no like misconception when it comes to Palpatine. Like he's
all
full on into it. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Saruman, same thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Personally, I'd have to go with Palpatine on this one, I think.
This is so tough.
That's a tough one.
Actually, I was having a discussion with a buddy of mine recently. We were talking about kind of this idea of, learning the origin stories of villains.
Right.
And when you do this, sometimes it can actually make the villains more complex, but sometimes it kind of takes away the teeth. I mean, Star Wars is a great example if you look at what they did with Anakin Skywalker in the prequels. And so, it kind of doesn't fully take away his teeth because Darth Vader is just that iconic, but at the same time, you don't want to necessarily see the Dark Lord of the Sith as this, let's go get him, pod racing kid.
Right.
And so, the beautiful thing about both of these characters is even though their origin stories have been told to some extent, they still keep with this mindset that these characters represent pure evil. There's no, they turned.
Yeah.
They have always been pure evil.
Right.
And so it's tough. I want to abstain from answering, honestly, because I mean, I think I have to give it to Palpatine.
I'm for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, a little bit easier. Stormtroopers or orcs?
Stormtroopers. Okay. Okay. Orcs are evil. You don't want to touch them. But they're kind of effective somewhat in battle.
Yeah.
Like stormtroopers are just ridiculous. They've got this kind of marshmallowy, Michelin Man thing going on, and they can't hit anything.
Not worth anything.
And you kind of would like to meet one, right? So I'd hug a stormtrooper.
You have hugged a stormtrooper.
I did recently.
Oh, I was so mad at you when I saw that.
Yeah.
That's when stormtroopers walk into the country squire.
Yeah.
That is when something should click in your mind that says, you know what? I bet Bo would like to know this is happening right now. You know what? Just if you find stormtroopers anywhere in the city.
You know what? I'll tell Bo that the next time I see him. No, that's not good enough.
Oh, man. You call me and be like, hey, there's stormtroopers in the shop. You want to go, have a pipe with Darth Vader. I drop what I'm doing and I head all the way over here as soon as possible.
I mean, everyone loves a good stormtrooper. I don't know. And they're not particularly threatening.
Sure. They can be threatening. I think actually something that I'm kind of expecting J.J. Abrams to do with the newer Star Wars films is actually take the stormtroopers and really bring them back to this idea of this scary, force that is a force to be reckoned with. I don't know if you've seen that one new teaser where John Boyega's character, he's standing out there in a battlefield and he's got the lightsaber and a stormtrooper's looking at him and it flicks his arm and a freaking battle axe comes out of his arm.
Whoa.
Like a Star Wars, laser battle axe looking thing.
Okay.
And he's about to toss down with John Boyega, who's got a lightsaber. And it's like, so I mean, it's just awesome. But anyway, I think that the stormtroopers are about to kind of, get their teeth back a little bit. Yeah, I'm definitely going to give it to the stormtroopers.
I was about to say, you say all this and you're going to say orc.
Yeah, no. Orcs, and specifically the orcs of Lord of the Rings. Scary bad guys, especially the Uruk-hai in particular, who are just kind of created to be these evil, brainless monsters.
Yeah.
Without any kind of redemption path. I think stormtroopers are actually more complex, especially if you kind of get under the mask, which I think we'll see in the new upcoming movies. So, stormtroopers. All right, and last but definitely not least, and I don't know how on earth these characters are comparable, Captain Jack Sparrow or Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah, Gandalf, but
of course.
Yeah, we love the pirates, ethos and all that stuff. I mean, we love the pirate stuff. I mean, we do, but Gandalf.
Yeah, I would actually, if I was to pair up these two, I would actually say that Captain Jack Sparrow would be more of a Han Solo.
Yeah,
from those three films.
Yeah, that's fair.
Gandalf being like more of an Obi-Wan. Actually, if you look at the Pirates of the Caribbean, you had the Orlando Bloom character, which was kind of the Luke Skywalker orphaned child who wants dreams of bigger adventure and everything else, and then you have the daughter of the bureaucrat or the mayor, whatever he was, is kind of the Princess Leia, who's a damsel in distress, but not really because she can kind of handle herself.
Right.
And then you have kind of the swashbuckling guy that kind of gets thrown into this and, brings along these heroes, or actually in Star Wars, he goes along with the heroes, and Pirates, he actually, leads the heroes to some extent.
Yeah.
But, anyway, Jack Sparrow would be much more of a Han Solo, I would think.
You know what, though, Jack Sparrow and Gandalf have in common?
What's that?
They both smoked a pipe.
They did both smoke a pipe.
They both smoked a pipe.
That's true. Now, Jack Sparrow, I don't think he ever smoked on screen, but...
Did he not?
I think in the novels he did. I don't think he smoked a pipe on screen.
I'm just going to believe that he was a pipe smoker.
Yeah. His dad was, right? Like when he goes to meet his dad in the bar, and I want to say on Stranger Tides, I think his dad was smoking a pipe. But anyway, interesting stuff.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, we agreed on everything. So you either win or lose based on however we decided that works. But great questions. And hey, if you got some quick fire questions for us, send them in csr@podastery.com. All right, man. Listener feedback. We got a great email in from Wes Brown addressing something from an earlier episode. You want to go ahead and read that for us?
Yeah, I'll read that from Wes. Wes says, I wanted to comment on the pipe question from a few weeks ago from Rob Forbes, choosing a tobacco to smoke while out hiking or on a walk. One smoking cadence can vastly change a smoking experience with a given tobacco. If you're out walking or hiking, your cadence is bound to increase. That's a good point. This could lead to Virginia's smoking hot. For that matter, any tobacco. When I'm out working in the yard with the pipe, it's in a cob, and I'll burn whatever I feel like smoking at the time. And yes, my cob can get hot, but so what? I don't mind burning out a $10 cob versus one of my briars. Absolutely. If you're looking to go hands free, pipe selection is important, of course. You sure don't want to clench a heavy briar. Hope y'all are doing well. Tell John David hi. Keep the briar warm. That's our friend Wes from Austin, Texas.
Man, Wes, great feedback right there, and I love that. I love getting you guys' thoughts on the pipe questions. Don't be afraid if we say something during the pipe question that you either want to correct us or chime in, just kind of give your 2 cents. This is a great forum for it, so be sure to send those in to us. All right, and on iTunes, we've got one in from Davey O'Hill. You have to forgive me tonight. My eyesight is really blurry, so I'm trying to read from far away. Well done. These fellas have created a tasteful and informative podcast. I'm a pipe smoking noob, and this podcast has grabbed me by the shoulders and pointed me in the right direction. These boys speak passionate about more than just tobacco and pipes and present an entertaining and listenable show. Drop a Thomas Merton soundbite and you have my attention. Nice job, Bo and JD.
That's great. Hey, Davey, thank you so much for writing in. The more Thomas Merton sound bites we can drop on the Country Squire, that's just good for your spirit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Good feedback. A couple other things I'd like to mention too. Hochter the Love Doctor, our good friend on Twitter, he says regarding our topic earlier, the question earlier, says, I've also heard to rest a pipe the same number of days as the bowl you smoked in it. Okay, so he says, therefore, if you smoke 3 bowls a day in a pipe, then you let it sit for 3 days. So if you smoke 2 bowls a day, then you let it smoke for 2 days. Just let it sit for 2 days. So, I think that might have some merit to it. Obviously, the more you work your pipe, the longer you want to let it rest and heal up. And so I think that's wise. Good buddy Ed Dupree here in Jackson. Let me see if I get this right. Ed, we were talking about our longest word in the dictionary for black lung.
Right.
This is it. You ready for this?
Hit me.
Pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
I think I have the black lung.
I've got the black lung. Ed, thank you. I just grew in wisdom tonight.
Well, there you go. You know what? And if you grow in wisdom on this podcast, I think that's a job well done.
I can tell you that nothing at the Country Squire, regardless of what it does to you, will ever give you pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
It's good to know, unless we ever convert this place into a coal mine.
Yeah, which we're not planning on doing.
Well, hey, man. Before we sign out and give contact information, we want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
We hope that you're all having great plans ahead. You have a lot of good food and safe travels. John David, you got any plans for Thanksgiving?
I'm gonna be here in Jackson, hanging out with my aunt, uncle, cousin, and other family members, and just looking forward to it. Always watch the Lions play football on Thanksgiving Day.
Really?
Because the Detroit Lions always play football on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh.
It's just a thing. I don't know why, but that's what our family does. We watch the Lions play, and obviously our big in-state rivalry, Mississippi State and Ole Miss, will play the battle for the Golden Egg this coming weekend.
Oh wow! Okay, so not on Thanksgiving.
Not on Thanksgiving. It used to be on Thanksgiving when we were growing up. It was on Thanksgiving, but the Egg Bowl now is on Saturday.
Fair enough.
Anyway, go Dogs, unless you're of a rebel persuasion, and then hotty toddy.
Unless you don't care, in which case I'm going to be watching the parade.
Unless, in which case your name is Bo.
But the only one in Mississippi who does not care about that game. That is probably accurate. But yeah, no, man, I'll be waking up early, watching the parade with my girls and my wife.
Yeah.
Then taking everybody over to the parents' house and getting a lot of good turkey, making my grandfather's recipe for cornbread oyster dressing. I've talked about that on the show before.
Dude, that sounds dangerous.
I'm looking forward to it, man. It's a special time of year, and looking forward to some good food and enjoying my pipe afterwards.
Yeah, man. I think PS Blend and probably some Virginia Cream as well are both on the docket for Thursday afternoon.
Well, especially that PS Blend, if you heard about it on the show, you want to try it and you're not local, be sure to go to the countrysquireonline.com where you can find that and more great products that you've heard on the show. Also, be sure to keep up with us. Be here for the live show if you are able to do so. We do it live at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. That is oh gosh, I don't know the breakdown, so I shouldn't attempt it. No, I can do it. 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern,
You nailed it.
I thank you. And of course, you can find that at countrysquireradio.com. And you can engage with us during the live show or beyond. You can follow us at Squire Radio on Twitter. You can follow our personal accounts at The Real Bo York for me.
I'm at John David Cole. And you can get us at the shop at @_Country Squire.
And of course, all of the links to that social information and more can be found at the newly revitalized countrysquireradio.com.
It's so beautiful.
I think it looks pretty good.
It looks great, buddy.
Yeah.
It looks great.
We got a new look for a new year. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, man.
A lot of great things to come. All right, man.
Dude, I had fun.
Let's go have a night.
Anytime I get to talk about some of my favorite tobaccos on air.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I just have a good time.
Tobacco talks are always fun.
And like you said,
let's go have a night.
See you, brother.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in live.
Bye, y'all. We really are thankful for y'all, and I hope everyone has a safe week.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Y'all be good. And hey, by the way, take some pictures of your turkeys. People have done that in years past on Facebook.
Pictures of their turkeys?
Yeah, while they're cooking their turkey Thanksgiving morning. We've gotten people who will take pictures cooking. They'll like have their pipe or they'll have their Country Squire Radio mug or something, and they'll take pictures of it.
And their turkey.
It's their turkey. Why wouldn't you?
You can just take a selfie.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.